The Key, another book about the law of attraction. You can see that it looks very much like The Secret. After reading the book The Secret in 2009, I decided to look for more information about the subject. That is how I attracted the key into my life. Book by Vitale. Yes, that's an Italian name and that's how you pronounce it with an Italian accent. Vitale, alright? I actually don't even know how you pronounce it in English.
I'm Dr. Joe Vitale.
244 pages divided in 3 parts and 28 chapters. I read this book twice, the second time for the making of this video, and only in Italian, so bear with me with whatever I'm going to be losing in translation. Alright? I'm doing my best. I am no expert, I am only doing the best I can. I am learning as I'm going and I'm sharing along the way. Let's get into it. Right after the table of contents, we find the Optimist Creed, which is the most powerful tool of the entire book. And of course, is not by Joe Vitale. It appeared for the first time in the book Your Forces and How to Use Them by Christian D. Larson in 1916. Don't remember. Our convictions determine what happens to us. There is no such thing as external causes. This is the quote that the author uses to open the first chapter, The Lost Secret, with. This chapter is basically the link between the book The Secret and The Key. Unfortunately, in both books, they forget to mention that the real secret at the base of the law of attraction is vibrations.
You are vibrational beings whether you know that you are or not, and you live in a vibrationally based universe whether you know that you are or not. And law of attraction is responding to your vibrational offering whether you know that it is or not. Think on purpose, feel on purpose.
We can also close the book and throw it away since there is really nothing else to add. In the second chapter, The Key, the author explains that our failure are due to the misalignment between our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. In the conscious mind, we hold the beliefs that we think we have, while in the subconscious mind, we hold the beliefs that we really have. So the key for the attraction and the achievement and the accomplishment of anything that we want in our life is to align these two minds, is to clean up ourselves, which is understanding what it is that is holding our subconscious back and prevents our subconscious to align with the beliefs that we hold in our conscious mind. Our belief pushes us to do or not to do something. Our beliefs filter everything, and it is through them that we decide if we're going to do something or if we won't. The result is the consequence of our decision, and our decision depends on how we perceive our reality. If we change our beliefs, our convictions will change, and so will our actions, and ultimately our reality. It's always useful to keep in mind that whatever our mind can conceive and believe, we can achieve. And a belief is only a thought we continue on thinking. And once that our belief matches our desire will become our reality. Abrahamics. We live in an universe built by our beliefs. We don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. In the chapter titled The Law of Attraction, the author mentions some of the work of Hester, Jerry, and Abraham Hicks, explaining that we attract into our life that which we think about the most. The core suggestion of this chapter is that we gotta stay vigilant about what we grant access into our mind. We gotta stand guard at the door of our mind. The law of attraction only works if we feel that what we desire has already manifested. It's what we feel that determines the result of the law of attraction. Is it always necessary to take action? No, not always, but most of the time. The thing is that we don't have to take action, as I just said. We have to take action. We must take action. No, we just gotta take inspired action. Exactly as I explained in the other videos about The Secret. Take inspired action. You gotta take inspired action. In the dimension we're in, we gotta act. How many times do I have to tell you? You gotta take inspired action. How about that? How about that? The inspired action is that call that comes from within us when we are in tune with our vortex, when we are in tune with the universe. That call, that inspiration that makes us feel alive. The issue is, most of the time, we tend to doubt it. We tend to overanalyze things, and we end up making the decision of postponing, procrastinating, never acting onto that inspired thought. Because when we take action upon inspired thought, we feel alive. We don't feel like a drag. We don't feel like, oh, we gotta do that. We feel like we are really there. We're really answering to the call of the universe. We are really expressing ourselves from within. We are lighting the spark that turns us on. All right. Abraham Hicks explains that the action part of our life is enjoying that which we have created through our thoughts. That's pretty awesome. So the creation of our thoughts is the inspired action. And the enjoyment is the application, is us acting upon that inspired thought. Makes sense? Makes total sense, guys. The law of attraction doesn't necessarily manifest like this. It is crucial to be willing to take action upon that inspiration. And if we are cleaned up, as the author says, we will be able to attract that which we desire and even more. I barely spoke any English. I was selling chips for a company in Italy, like the one that you have here in the States that you call Lay's. And I went from selling chips to buying houses in Florida. When I left with this idea, everybody thought I was crazy. But I knew it was the right thing for me to do. I just left. Also because, as Les Brown says,
what people think about you and the possibilities for your dream is none of your business. They have no imagination, ladies and gentlemen. The people that are going to make it in the future, the people that are making it today, let me share something with you. History is being read, but it's also being written by people with imagination.
The only thing we gotta do is take action. We can and we have to ask the universe anything we want to without any limitations or restrictions. And as soon as the opportunity presents itself, we gotta act on the opportunity we've attracted in order for the universe to allow what we desire into our life. Even material things have a spiritual essence. Everything, as I explained in one of my other videos, is made out of energy. Ourselves, as human beings, are material beings that have a energetic, a spiritual essence. Learning to attract things, material things into our life, allow us to understand how the law of attraction works. And this way, the material things will help us to awaken ourselves and our powers, as the author explains in this chapter. Don't look at society as a model for behavior and value. It's a pretty cool quote.
No matter how much people had, they still want more.
Fictitious lifestyle fuels this sense of inadequacy.
All of us are following a toxic dream.
Also because if we are going to create a perception of the world based on what they're feeding us through the mass media, well, it will definitely be distorted. Big time. We gotta stand guard at the door of our mind. It is us who limit the extent of our happiness. As Abraham Hicks says, life will only be as good as you allow it to be. All the limits we think we have for ourselves and for our society come from our beliefs that determine our perception. As we change what we believe to be possible and or impossible, we change the possibility to create our reality. The final goal of anything we do is happiness. And the key to happiness is our spiritual awakening. And through our spiritual awakening, we are going to realize that the only obstacles we find on our way are those that we place there, are those that we create for ourselves. It is the way we see the world that creates the world we live in. Our personal development depends on us. It is us who decide what we want to do. Think bigger. The title of the last chapter of this first part. If we don't know that we can't, then we can! In the second part of the book, the author introduces us to 10 methods to clean ourselves up and to attract anything we want in our life. Each method ends with an exercise to make sure that we get the most out of it, because we don't learn through words.
Words don't teach. It's life experience that teaches.
And this makes the book even more practical. The third part of the book, titled The Miracles, it's all about miracle coaching, which is the group, I guess, the club that Joe Vitale has. So the third part is basically a big commercial of his coaching, of his classes.
What I did was create Miracles Coaching so it can help other people.
Even in this third part, if you want to, you can find valuable content. By reading these bits of interviews and chats that he had with some of his students, we are exploring further all the main points that he touched upon previously in the book. The end of this last part, which is also the conclusion of the book, is about 17 techniques to free ourselves from negative thoughts and emotions. First of all, in all my videos, I'm only sharing my experience and my personal opinion, which you can agree with or you may not agree with. I don't personally know Joe Vitale. He may be the greatest human being ever. I can only share what is the perception that I have of him after reading this book.
You may know me because I was in the movie The Secret. I've been in about 15 more movies. You might have known me because of my books. I wrote The Attractor Factor, Zero Limits. The most recent book is The Awakened Millionaire. But I've written about 50 other books as well.
Also, please keep in mind that my knowledge of his teachings is very, 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 very limited. This is the only book by Joe Vitale that I actually read. I only picked up this book again to make this video. In fact, after reading it for the first time in 2009, I didn't have a very positive memory. I remember being extremely disappointed with it because it was clear to me at that time how this book was clearly an attempt by the author to monetize on the exposure that he had gained by being part of The Secret, more than it was about delivering value to his audience. I was very disappointed. Also because the majority of the content is not by Joe Vitale, is by other teachers that he has learned from and that he has reported the material of. In more than one occasion, he mentions Hester, Jerry, and Abraham Hicks as well. I mean, how can't you? This is the law of attraction, guys. They are the source of the law of attraction. It is useful and it's normal to mention other people's material. At the same time, though, it's very important how we do it, and I don't enjoy the way he does it. However, I must admit that I admire the fact that the author explains and clearly points out where he got his content from. A lot of gurus these days pretend that they are reinventing how to make the water boil, as we say in Italian. He actually explains that I got this from this guy, and this from this guy, and this from this other guy, not pretending that it was all his stuff, that it wasn't all flower from his own bag, as we say in Italian. We'll see. I really despise those people that pretend to know it all or that they did it all by themselves and on their own. Here in America, guys, you keep saying that there are plenty of self-made millionaires, self-made successful people. There isn't such a thing, guys. The only things that we do completely on our own are those things that we do in the bathroom. Everybody needs everybody else. We're all an ecosystem. In more than one occasion, I felt like the author was talking down to the reader, was talking down to people. He kept on writing, you do this, you do that, you are part of the universe. What do you mean? You aren't? My point is that we would have sounded better. I personally tend to make the mistake of always saying I way too often. But at the same time, I am not a writer. and it felt weird to me that such a well-known author kept on pointing the fingers as if he were above us all. So why should you read this book? Well, there is nothing that you have to do or that you should do. You just gotta do whatever makes you feel better. So if you enjoy The Secret and you feel like taking the next step, you're eager to learn more and to hear about what other authors have to say about their own experience with the law of attraction, well then, go get it. Be better with books.
This video has been brought to you
By us at
Real Estate Helpful Solutions.
We Buy Houses, Helping People. By the way, I have an entire playlist of videos about the book The Secret, should you be interested in checking that out. Link in the description. Improve your thinking by reading to improve.